Today we will narrate the story of the divine promise concerning Ishmael and Isaac, found in the book of Genesis, chapters 16 to 21. May the word of God reach our hearts as a source of inspiration for our lives. In the winding paths of Canaan, after a decade of waiting, anxiety gripped Sarai's heart. The echoes of divine promises reverberated in her thoughts, but the silence of the empty cradle weighed on her soul. It was then that, like a light in the midst of darkness, a solution emerged in her mind. Distressed, Sarai sought the countenance of her husband Abram with the restlessness of one eager to fulfill the promised destiny. "I have a solution to this dilemma that torments us," she whispered. "Lie with my servant Hagar. If she conceives, her offspring will be as if it were mine." Abram, moved by the promise and desiring to fulfill the divine purpose, consented. The ties were forged in the dimness, and soon Hagar conceived. However, along with the promise, the seed of discontentment blossomed. Hagar, now carrying the gift of motherhood, rose with an air of superiority, an echo of rivalry that echoed in the corridors of the tent. Anger flared up in Sarai's heart, who, seeing the shadow of her servant looming over her, murmured to her husband, "You are the root of my torments. It was you who impregnated her, and now she deems herself superior." Abram's words, spoken like a breeze in the storm, offered little consolation. "She is your servant. Do with her as you wish," he replied. And so the bonds of discontent tightened until Sarai, immersed in anger, unleashed blows and humiliations upon Hagar, forcing her to flee. Weary and desolate, Hagar found refuge by a crystal-clear spring. Her tired body rested in the shade of a tree, while tears traced paths on her face. There, on the edge of solitude, she waited, perhaps longing for a divine intervention that could make sense of her intricate journey. Beneath the desert's mantle, where sunbeams danced in the mirage of the horizon, Hagar found herself before a spring. The water flowed calmly, an echo of life amidst the arid vastness that stretched around her. Her eyes, marked by fatigue and tears, reflected the journey of a distressed soul. In this unforgiving setting, the angel of the Lord appeared, an ethereal presence wrapped in light, unveiling itself before Hagar. The divine voice cut through the silence of despair. "Hagar, where are you going?" She, humble before the divine majesty, whispered in a voice laden with sorrow, "Lord, I flee from Sarai, my mistress." The angel, with compassion transcending the desert dunes, counseled her, "No, you should not. God has heard the cry of your pain. Return and submit to Sarai, even if it costs you tears. You will give birth to a son, and you shall name him Ishmael. He will be a warrior, in conflict with all, but his descendants will be so vast that not even the stars in the sky could count them." The divine revelation enveloped Hagar in awe. "I have seen the God who sees me," she proclaimed, and she baptized the spring with the meaningful name, "The Spring of the Living God who Sees Me." With renewed courage, Hagar returned, submissive to Sarai's domain. In the arms of the desert, she gave birth to Ishmael, and Abram, now 86 years old, spoke the name that would echo through the centuries, a testament that God hears the cry of those who, lost in the sands of life, seek his mercy. Ishmael, Hagar's son, whose name resonates like an echo of the divine promise, God hears. On a night of shimmering stars, when the dunes whispered ancient secrets to the desert wind, a celestial voice broke the silence to reach Abram, who was now 99 years old. It was God himself, the architect of destinies, who whispered promises to Abram's aged heart. "You, Abram, will be the father of countless nations, and kings will arise from your descendants. Therefore I change your name to Abraham, meaning father of many nations. I will be with you, and this land will belong to you and your descendants. As a sign of these promises, you shall circumcise all males." And thus the divine covenant was inscribed on Abraham's flesh, a visible mark of an eternal pact. But God didn't stop there. In a divinely orchestrated act, he said, "From now on, your wife will be called Sara. I will bless her, and she will give you a son." Laughter escaped from Abraham's lips. a laughter that echoed among the dunes and the stars. How is it possible for a man of 100 years and a woman of 90 to have a child? Perhaps Ishmael can inherit all your promises for me, Abraham suggested, amid laughter and uncertainties. But God, in his infinite wisdom, responded with a certainty that transcends the laws of nature. No, Sarah will give birth to a son, and you shall call him Isaac. My promises will be with him and his descendants. I will be their God, and through them all the land will be blessed. Thus, at the threshold of the impossible, the divine promise materialized, echoing like the wind in the desert and shining like the stars in the sky. Abram, now Abraham, and Sarah, amidst laughter and tears, contemplated the extraordinary future drawn by God, a future that would transcend the boundaries of time and bless the entire land. Abraham, now aged, awaited under the benevolent shade of a tree, unaware that his story would be intertwined with extraordinary events. Suddenly, like stars descending from the firmament, 3 distinct figures outlined themselves in the dusk. Abraham's keen perception captured the magnitude of the visit. Among the travelers, one was the Lord. A surge of reverence made Abraham's heart beat stronger. "Gentlemen, please rest under this tree. I will provide water to wash your feet and a feast fit for kings." Abraham hurried, showcasing the generosity that characterized his hospitality. While the travelers settled, a divine revelation unfolded. "I will also bless Ishmael. I will make a great nation of him, and 12 tribes will come from him," the Lord declared, renewing the promises made to the patriarch. Abraham's heart, now a kaleidoscope of emotions, overflowed with gratitude at the continuation of divine blessings. Ishmael, a product of human choices, would not be forgotten in the plans of the Most High. As the night unfolded, Abraham, enveloped in the divine atmosphere, hastened to prepare a feast. His wife Sarah was summoned to bake bread, while in the field, a meticulously chosen calf awaited its destiny. The tempting aroma of food filled the air as Abraham served his guests. He watched with humility and admiration as the celestial travelers shared the meal under the starry mantle of the desert. There, in that moment, the fabric of the divine and the earthly intertwined, creating a memorable chapter in Abraham's journey, where the promise was lived at the table under the starry sky. While the stars witnessed the celestial feast, Abraham, enveloped by the night, was about to receive news that would transcend the laws of nature. The Lord, immersed in the divine aura, addressed Abraham with a question that echoed beneath the canopy of the starry sky. "Where is Sarah, your wife?" In reverence, Abraham gestured toward the tent where Sarah listened to every word. The Lord, in a voice laden with the weight of promises, announced an extraordinary revelation. "In a year's time I will return, and during that time Sarah will give birth to a son." Inside the tent, Sarah's ears caught the celestial message. A nervous laugh wrapped in disbelief escaped from her lips. The idea of conceiving at 90 seemed like a fantasy. The irony of the impossible floated in her mind. The Lord, knowing the most intimate thoughts, lovingly confronted Sarah's internal laughter. "Why did Sarah laugh? Is anything too difficult for the Lord? I will return, and she will give birth to a son." The comedic and sacred moment unfolded as Sarah, hearing the divine rebuke, rushed outside, denying vehemently, "I did not laugh." However, the divine response remained steadfast. "Yes, you laughed." Time, intertwined with the divine promise, witnessed the miracle sprouting in Sarah's womb. Expectations grew, and the stars held their silence as a new page of Abraham and Sarah's history unfolded in the book of divine destiny. This is the third part of a 7-part series, where we will narrate the biblical story of Abraham and his family. Stay with us not to miss the upcoming chapters of this story, which is so significant for all of us. If you're not subscribed to our channel yet, click on the subscribe button and become part of our community. Also, don't forget to comment, like, and click on the notification bell. Your presence and participation here are very important to us. And if you missed the previous episodes, we have a complete playlist with all the videos in chronological order. Today I want to share a verse found in the book of Genesis, chapter 17, verse 7. I will establish my covenant as an everlasting covenant between me and you and your descendants after you, for the generations to come, to be your God and the God of your descendants. May God's presence be a constant in your life, bringing blessings, joy, and love. God bless you.